Greetings! Welcome to the Devlog for update 99 of hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. We're going to start, as always, with a quick sound check. Make sure speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful! So what have we got for you this week? Well, we are finally done with the update 99 alpha cycle. And though I said last week that this week would mainly be about bug fixes and stuff, I was fibbing as usual, and I've got a bunch more toys for you to round off this whole cycle. And they are quite explosive. So let's spawn ourselves some quote-unquote volunteers to take a look at our new toys. The first of which, long requested, is a placeable C4 charge. That is right. We can grab it at any angle we want here. It's got a little switch, and what's cool about this, with or without the switch pulled, if we're holding it and we contact the environment, it will stick to the environment. If you just throw it, it won't. It will still say slide or bounce. Well, it's not sliding or bouncing, but you get the point. But we can totally just place this here. I'm so sorry for this. Whap! Click it, switch. Pull out our detonator, and bammo! Oh, fun times, fun times. Come over here. Let's plant a few. Put one there. Heh. Grab this here. Put this one here. Boop. You know, I should add a little sound to play when that sticks to something. I will do that later. And bammo! Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Ah, a few of them somehow managed to survive that encounter. Next up, we have another long requested type of explosive. I have for you a Claymore mine. Now, this is not a completely realistic Claymore mine. Like real life Claymore mines have wires coming out of the top, and you either tie them to a tripwire or a manual detonator. This is 10 out of 10, your standard video game does not exist, laser activated magical Claymore. And so if the way these deploy, we don't even have to hit a button. I'm going to do it away from a target that can be blown up. Is you just hold it over a surface and release it like so. And it will activate. We have ourselves a cone of effect. So if I just grab one of our volunteers here and just toss him into it. Oop, whoops. He just severed from the velocity there. That was unexpected. Let's see if you hold together better there, buddy. Oh, it must have been I hit him on the environment. Ha! What? Oh! There we go. Oh, the detection laser is not necessarily going at a super high frequency, so if you just like fling a SOSIG past it, there is a chance that it won't go off, but obviously once he stood up... Oh, wonderful. Oh, just wonderful. These are just gonna be far too much fun to play with over time. Do 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 do. Oh, not far enough. Oh, you lucked out there, buddy. Not this time though. Boom. Oh, fun stuff. Let's see, the next thing we have is not super great to show off in tight confines like this, but I'll show it off anyway, and we'll play with it more in the Arizona range in a few. And that is the remote missile launcher. We can turn it on here. Oh yeah, this is a pilotable missile. We have a 3DOF joystick here that we can pitch, yaw, and roll with. We've got a screen here. So we insert a remote missile, which has a camera on the front of it. And then we see the view of it through that screen. And it flies super slow by default, which still hard to steer indoors like this. This is better for outdoors for sure. Bammo! Let's see if we can just hip fire it here and try to steer. This is gonna go poorly. Oh, when holding the joystick, pulling the trigger down will accelerate the missile. It only comes out slow by default. Do note it decelerates slower than it accelerates. And if you hit the touchpad or the A button in streamline controls, you will airburst detonate the missile. Oops, just missed entirely there. Let's back off a bit. Let's airburst it. Boomzos. But yeah, we will try that out outdoors in a few. And the last, some of you may be like, I see a theme going on here. The last thematic item to go with all of this, which will make sense why in a moment, is a tactical cardboard box. Clearly the most valuable tool on a battlefield. And the way this works is we just grab it. Oops. You want to line it up as though you're looking through it from the outside. You should feel a little haptic bump from your controller when you get it in the right place, and boom, it goes into your backpack slot. Note, you are not grabbing it and putting your hand back where your backpack slot is. You're just lining this up, and it should snap in place. We can walk around like this, but if we get down low to the ground and stay nice and still, you'll notice that we get the ghost arrows on our hands. That means that the bots can't see us, being all sneaky in our tactical cardboard box. Oh, I hope you have fun with that. Anyway, let's jump over to the Arizona range and show our remote missile launcher in proper action and talk about a change to the new locomotion systems. So, out here in the Arizona range, this is a much more a proper testing environment for our remote missile launcher here. We can actually get some real altitude with it. Pull that up there. Accelerate. Bank around there. You can hear it distant from us. Come back around. Maybe we can do... Oh, there it is. Look at it go. Ha ha! Oh, this is too much fun to steer around. Bammo! Should give an idea how fast the acceleration is. Good stuff. Good stuff. Note that this actually has an AI entity in it, so the bots will actually see the missile and try to shoot it out of the air, which also makes it a really great distraction device. Let's do a loop-de-loop with it. Oh, we're trying. I don't even know what direction I'm pointed at this point. Up towards the ground. Let's pull up. Oh, super fun. Super fun. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, as you notice, I moved the climbing environment over a little bit, just so it's a little less onerous. For those of you just looking for the I just want to hang out in the Arizona, not next to terrifying monoliths. I wanted to mention some changes with the grapple gun. One, you will actually notice that we actually have some sound when we are catapulting through the air at high speed. And I have adjusted the intensity of the locomotion pull with this. I have made the initial pull less powerful, about 33%, but secondary pulls, once you're already in the air, are now at full strength. So it's now much easier to air juggle yourself. I'm gonna do this on camera, so I'm gonna mess it up. Oh, it feels good. Let's see here. Perfect. So it's now much easier to change your direction once you're in the air to be able to make more precise jumps. Whammo. Awesome. Oh, I will never get tired of this. This is truly, you know, I think I mentioned this. The sort of grapple pull thing wasn't originally part of this idea. Originally, it was just going to be for placing ropes, and the idea of sort of reusing some of the blast jump code to make this work was a moment of inspiration that I'm so glad happened. Ooh, oh, flubbed it. Did not get enough verticality there. Perfect. But yeah, it just feels, I don't know, it feels like the intensity is so much more correctly tuned. Oh. As I flub it again. Anywho, you get the point. Oh, super fun, super fun. So, you might have been asking, you know, all those explosives there in that cardboard box, that was giving me some ideas there. That's because to round off Update 99, I had to put a new Take and Hold character in. I give you Flaccid Steak, our... I'm sorry, it's just such a terrible joke. A custom progression, custom set of enemies Take and Hold character. It is an on-site procurement character. So we've got a rangefinder, which we don't really need indoors, so I'll just leave this here. That's more for Northeast Dakota. And we've got, because Flaccid Steak smuggled them in its meaty stomach, we've got a pack of dings. These are basically mini health sausages that we can use to keep ourselves alive, which will be important because we're starting without any weapons. Haha. I don't know how many of you have actually taken a supply point without a weapon yet, but it's a thrill.
Huh?
Oh, up, up.
Huh? Huh? Ivan! Dang it!
Success!
Override token found.
So this character has a completely custom progression. We're gonna always start off with our MK23. It's very similar to the Well Done Free Meat character in that way. Although one of the things that differentiates this character even more is at the end of each hold, there is a boss wave, and it is a classic video game style boss. Tons of health. Your goal, in many ways, is simply to survive and not take unnecessary hits while you wait for the targets to appear. Oh, let's pretend that first shot didn't happen.
Interfacing with system node. Hold this position. Analyzing system. Advancing to next system layer.
And now for our first boss.
Analyzing system.
Huh?
Damaged.
neutralized.
Bammo! Take that as a trophy. Oh man, we came so low, I almost died there. Have a few of our dings meat candy. These heal 25% of your life each. And there's 20 of them to help you survive the super spongy bosses. Now, I could have actually managed to kill that boss if I had gotten more headshots or gotten plus P ammo for the pistol, and another one will spawn after a certain amount of time. So as I said, the boss waves are about survival, evasion, stealth, and eventually using lots of explosives on them so that you can get a higher score. Anywho, let's jump out of VR and talk about the last little tweaks and changes and things of relevance in this finally finished Update 99. Nobody here but us boxes.
Huh? Huh? That's in the next
Yo! So, out of VR, only a couple other things to cover for this devlog. The big change is that I have altered the way that SOSIGs function and path once they have entered a hold point that they're storming. For the longest time, basically what would happen is if they stormed into the hold point and you didn't shoot them immediately, they would reach a specific point in the hold point and then they would just kind of stand there, which is not really the behavior you expect from a, defensive force coming in to get rid of an intruder. So now they basically reach that initial point and then pick a new random point somewhere in the hold to path to, and they sort of run search loops around it. It was something that I needed to add to really make those bosses feel good so that they always felt like they were sort of angling around and trying to get a firing solution on you more aggressively than, say, the sort of default skirmishing behavior. But it worked better for pretty much all circumstances. So that is the new behavior, and I'm a big fan of it. And I fixed a bunch of assorted bugs involving rifles and revolvers and things. Everything that wasn't in the item spawner before, earlier in the alpha cycle, is now in the item spawner. I fixed stuff with the Webley Fosberry, which is now actually has a proper single action trigger. You have to manually cock the hammer the first time, but because of its inertial system, it will recock its own hammer after each shot from there on in. Attuned as well, just there was a weird bug where basically if you press the trigger super fast with the Fosberry or the Unica, you could sort of outrun the recoil mechanism, which would cause the revolver to kind of break in a bunch of different ways. So that has all been fixed now. It's a way more consistent feel for it, while still having a sort of capped maximum firing speed. The Dardic revolver carbine is now actually in the item spawner as well. So yeah, but that is about it. So anywho, I hope you have fun playing with the new explosive toys, the new take and hold character, the new level. I know the level still has a few little glitches in it. Some stations spawn in the terrain a little bit. There's still a couple geo holes. I have most of that notated. I just did not manage to get around and fix everything this past week. But don't worry, it will get fixed eventually. In terms of schedule stuff, just beware. I will, if a patch or a hot fix is necessary for this update, I will of course push it over the course of the weekend or early next week. But beyond that, I am taking a little bit of a break, a much needed break, probably a little over a week, close to 2 weeks. There will still be a video next week that I already have made and is queued up. It's actually a talk I gave last year that I have always meant to actually repost to my own channel and have never done so. It was streamed live on Twitch. Many of you may have seen it. I'm finally going to pop that up, and that'll be next Friday's video just to give me some time off. And then once I'm back and rested and recuperated, we can talk about what the next probably incredibly long alpha cycle will be, which will of course be update 100, which I've got some special things planned for that, let me tell you. So anywho, have fun grappling and catapulting your way across a level firing guided rockets. Isn't VR grand? Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Peace.